Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Practical Pet Chat. Love is in the air, as always. Lorin, love languages are different for all of us. And I'm not just talking men and women. I am talking dogs, cats, birds, all of the different heartbeat beings that are out there. But let's focus it down for our audience today onto our furry friends and how they show their love. I know I'm jealous of how your dogs show you love because Bella does not do that. So I may send her to your house, not for the filet mignon that we've previously talked about, but instead to learn how to properly give hugs.
We didn't teach her that. It's the oddest thing. When she was a baby, she came up and I was so taken aback by what she did. She's a little dog. So she climbed up and she just kind of leaned in and wrapped herself around my neck and hugged. And I was like, Delaney, is that a hug? And she just looked at me and then she did it again. I was like, hugs. And so now that's her word, hugs.
Love it.
And we can ask for it. She'll do it all the time. She gives night night hugs and she gives good morning hugs all on her own. We can ask for hugs and she'll come over and she'll hug. But the random hug is just, it's so pure and beautiful and so clearly what it is. It's meant to be an I love you. And Kelly has videotaped her when she's hugging me. And he says she closes her eyes, and she just relishes it. And I kiss her on the neck when she's doing it. And then she'll turn and give me the other side of her neck while she's hugging me. And it's the sweetest thing ever. Neither one of us have ever had a dog that does that. And it's even better because we didn't train her to do it. We didn't even think of it. It was just her way of doing it.
Yeah, I love that. So Belle used to do, we'd say kisses, and she'd give you her nose and whatnot. We burned out that love language sign where she now holds up both paws, going nope. Yeah, so kisses. Her funny thing, her love language. Now she has different ones with each family member, and she'll show in different ways. But with me, her favorite thing to do is to lay back to back with me. And if I have a shirt on that she doesn't like, you know how dogs will like turn in their bed and scratch
Mhm.
and get everything. She'll just do that on my back, and I'm like, at first I thought, oh, she's just scratching my back. That is the coolest thing. You're the best dog ever. Didn't train you to do that. Love that. What I realized was no, she doesn't like that shirt, and she wants me to either change or she just wants to, lay back to back, and she'll keep me warm with all her husky fur. Um, but yeah, it's that's one of her things. And then when she's super excited, she'll do that thing where she leans in and almost flips herself over you because she's trying to just awkwardly rub herself onto you. And then her last love language is the weirdest one. She's a cat. And what I mean by that is she has to go under your legs, around your legs, get her scent everywhere she possibly can. And if you're wearing black, God forbid,
Oh,
because it wouldn't matter who you were, she just sees that and goes, oh, you need some accessorizing.
you sure that's not just a prank?
It could be. I don't know. It could be, her getting back at us for vacuuming her so often,
Hmm.
which is my love language for her because I will vacuum her so that she can be on the furniture and do all those things without having so much hair left behind. You can only claim so much of the house. Is
But it's Bella glitter. I mean, that's all that is. It's a
it's
little
beyond
bit of Bella
glitter.
glitter.
It's beyond glitter.
It's a mini
It
Bella.
might be a snowstorm at that point. It's yeah. So yeah. So hopefully my daughter doesn't listen to this episode, but she had a hamster, and so there were many times when I would vacuum the dogs, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh!" And the hamster's name was Lenny, And I'd be like, wow, I got like 5 Lennies out of this dog, because there'd be so much hair, it would, just fit into a full hamster ball.
Oh
It was
my
crazy.
gosh.
So Bella being a husky is always good for a couple of Lennies. Yeah. So we'll stray on that. It's interesting. You said the neck thing. So visit my sister's house, her cat Jackson, who I absolutely love. We'll do that. We'll like it's really weird if you're not around cats all the time because you hear the purring, which sounds like, the sharpening of,
Oh, I
I
love
don't know, a
that.
buzzsaw. And then
No, it
yeah, and
doesn't.
then
It's so much more beautiful
it
than that.
like he just he just like, well, maybe to you, um, but he just lays in there like he's a scarf, and I just love, love, love that. So every animal has their own unique. I've got some friends who have birds, and the birds give kisses to those that they like. They definitely do not give them to me because they do not like me as much as they like them, clearly. But yeah, I think it's one of the. I love how you describe that. Delaney just melted my heart, and I haven't even gotten a
Oh
hug.
my gosh. And it's only gotten better as she's gotten older because she's almost 5 now. And she's really developed that. She really makes sure that, we know that that's what that is. She comes over and she gives random love whenever she wants us to know, that she just thinks we're amazing. It's incredible. There's nothing like it. And then I have my other dog, Bellamy, who's like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. She's just like, I don't get it. I'm not doing that. Don't ask me. No, no. And she'll come over and she likes to just look at you. She'll come up and she'll just look at you and stare deep into your eyes and expect you to understand everything she's thinking.
It's funny you say that too, because that is a habit that Bella has. Bella will put her nose on your nose. That's just something, unfortunately, I did with her since she was a little puppy. And so that was a mistake that I was making because we would do that so often. And she would just, and I could hold her back then. So she would just be a little puppy baby and we'd melt into each other, right? But as she got bigger and now 70 pounds, it's like she gets up into everybody's face and that's intimidating. And so it's not as cute as my family likes to tell me. Yeah, nobody wants a big husky right in their face. And yeah, I'm always like, nobody but me, Bella. Huh, Bella? Yeah. So love signals, you got to remember, not everybody is also comfortable with those too, especially if you have a lot of folks coming over to your house, having cricket dinner with you and all that. Maybe that husky's nose in your face is also going to throw you off that night. So um, it's interesting. But I've
Well,
started
it's
asking,
interesting too. It's interesting too that so many people can mistake what a dog's love language is, especially a bigger dog,
right?
because if they're overly affectionate or overly exuberant, which may be fine for the family, and they finally have gotten to know the relatives or the neighbors and they do that, it can be intimidating
Yeah,
for other people. And then the dog is confused because they're instantly hit with, no, no, don't do that. No. It's like, what do you mean? I do that all the time.
right. Well, and I was just going to say one of the things I love to do because I go to a lot of business meetings, and I will when someone say, "Oh, I got a dog, I got a cat," I'll ask them, "What's your pet's love language?" And it's really interesting because some people can just nail it immediately and tell you this amazing, oh my gosh. And others are like, oh, I never thought about it that way.
Ah,
Yeah. I mean, and then you get the ones who, you can tell are not necessarily the pet person in their family. Yeah, the love language is he eats all my tennis shoes.
I was
So
gonna say, what's the love language? Steak. It's
steak.
steak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, and that's something else too that I know you and I we should do another episode about that. Maybe we'll do one upcoming here on mistaken acts of love by pet parents. and how that can go wrong very quickly. But I think what's just so interesting and fun is learning not just the communication patterns, but the differences between, I know in the barks, in the sounds that Bella makes, the sounds that Sugar and Zoe made, that meant something different. That tone, that urgency. Um, Sugar would stomp her feet if she had to have my attention. And I would know immediately, like, oh, okay, what are you trying to tell me? So there's a lot of interesting communications, and I think the one that we all go naturally to immediately is that, oh, my dog loves me because my dog does this or that. And it's kind of, I love when kids go, oh my gosh, your dog loves me. The dog is licking me and tenderizing me and almost ready to cook me. And I'm like, yeah, because you're salty.
Oh, you're
You're
covered
tasty
in
to the
chocolate
dog.
ice cream. Exactly.
You wear your food. So that's it is funny that you say that. You can misinterpret those signals just as easy, especially the love language ones. So
Yes.
I'll
Well, they will fall in love with you quicker if you give them steak. So,
steak. I'm thinking peanut butter. You know, that's
ugh.
that's another one. No, I'm just saying there are just like universal truths that you just you have to acknowledge. Good for them or not, that's going to draw them out. So, on
Cheese.
what'd you say?
Cheese.
Cheese. Yeah,
I'm not
that.
a fan
Yeah.
personally, but a lot of people use it. So,
It's funny if I can't get Belle in for the night. I will open a cheese wrapper and she will book it in. And she falls for it every time because she doesn't get the cheese. But it works. It's like jingling the keys. If she thinks she's going for an RIDE, and that's the other love language, right? Our dogs and cats, they don't know how to spell. Maybe she does.
mine do.
Yeah, I was gonna say all she needs to do is just see me even go towards them because we hang ours up, and she's like, "I'm ready to go. Got my seatbelt, got my harness. Let's do this." I'm a sucker for a pup cup though too. That is
Oh, they're so bad.
I know, but I can't help it. I can't.
Oh, God, they're
She
terrible. The
gets
ingredients are
so proud.
terrible.
She gets so proud of herself. So, all right, on that note, I know there's a lot of you out there who also have great stories, maybe some videos for Lorin to watch. Send them to the email up above. And as always, thanks for joining us on another Practical Pet Chat.
Bye, guys.
The content of this podcast is for informational purposes only. It is not intended as, nor should it be construed as, professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment for your pets. Always seek the advice of a qualified veterinarian with any questions you may have regarding your pet's health or medical condition. Never disregard professional veterinary advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard on this podcast. The hosts and the guests of this podcast are not liable for any actions taken based on the information shared during these episodes. Any reliance on the information provided is solely at your own risk. Copyright 2026 Practical Pet Chat. All rights reserved. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or reproduction of any content from this podcast, including but not limited to audio, scripts, and show notes, is prohibited without prior written consent. The opinions and views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Practical Pet Chat.